Hello, everyone. Are we heading to another recession? Let's look at this news first. IMF issues dire warning for Australian economy. The International Monetary Fund issued a dire forecast scenario late on Tuesday AEST that the Middle East conflict was threatening a global recession. The IMF revised Australian inflation outlook significantly higher with consumer price growth of 4% in 2026, exceeding most advanced economies, including the US, Britain, and New Zealand. It also revised its economic growth projections for Australia slightly down from January. My views on it. Australia's economy today stands at a critical and uncertain turning point, influenced not only by domestic challenges but also by powerful global events. Most notably, the ongoing Iran war. This conflict has disrupted key oil supply routes in the Middle East, pushing global energy prices higher and creating a ripple effect across economies worldwide. For Australia, the impact is immediate and visible. Rising fuel costs increase transportation and production expenses, which in turn drive up the prices of everyday goods and services. At a time when households are already dealing with high interest rates and cost of living pressures, this added strain is reducing disposable income and weakening consumer spending. Despite these challenges, Australia is not currently in a recession. The labor market remains relatively strong, with unemployment still low compared to historical levels. However, economic growth has started to slow and business confidence is becoming more cautious. Companies are delaying investments and consumers are cutting back on non essential spending, both of which are early signs of a cooling economy. What makes the current situation more complex is the global uncertainty. If the Iran conflict escalates further, it could lead to prolonged high energy prices, supply chain disruptions, and increased volatility in financial markets. Another major concern is the risk of stagflation, a situation where inflation remains high while economic growth slows. This is particularly challenging for policymakers as measures to control inflation, such as maintaining higher interest rates, can further slow down economic activity. Central banks, including Australia's, are walking a fine line between controlling inflation and avoiding a sharp economic downturn. Looking ahead, the path for Australia's economy will largely depend on how global events unfold. If the Iran war stabilizes and energy prices ease, there is a strong chance that Australia can navigate through this period with slower but steady growth. However, if global tensions intensify, the risk of a recession will increase significantly. In today's interconnected world, events happening thousands of kilometers away are no longer distant. They directly influence the cost of living, job security, and financial stability here at home. For now, Australia remains resilient, supported by strong institutions and a diversified economy. But the coming months will be crucial. The balance between global uncertainty and domestic stability will determine whether the country experiences a temporary slowdown or faces a more serious economic downturn. Let's keep an eye and we hope for the best. Thank you.